Well, good Saturday afternoon to you PipeCat visitors. I'm Larry, and I wanted to share a new thing with you. This is not a particular, critical deconstruction of anything. I just did an experiment, and I replaced the pickups in my Spalted Maple Firefly FF338, which is the guitar that I'm holding right now. It came with factory PAF humbuckers in it, and like all Firefly pickups, except for the tele copy, all the humbucking Firefly pickups that I've ever experienced sounded great, but they did need to be wax potted because they're highly microphonic. Once you do that, you've got a really nice set of pickups, and I don't have much complaint about those. I do wish that they were a little bit hotter when you use distortion with them. That's my general critique of Firefly PAF pickups. But I thought, well, gee, they can't be very expensive because the guitar itself is not very expensive. So if I were to replace the pickups in there, rather than do something unfair like I did with the Tele, my Firefly thin line Tele that I have, you've probably seen the video on that one. I replaced the pickups that came with it with Seymour Duncan quarter-pound Telecaster pickups, which are monstrous. They're killer. So that kind of wasn't a very fair change. But I did that so that I would just have a really nice Tele copy that I could play, thin line Tele. This Spalted Maple Firefly right here is a spectacular guitar all around. Of anything that I've bought from Firefly, this has been my favorite, hands down. It was near perfect, coming out of the box, except for maybe a couple of little tweaks I had to make and the usual setup stuff. But I got curious what it would sound like if I changed the pickups out in it. And I wanted to change them with an equivalent value sort of pickup. And I got curious. In my last guitar video, I was talking about the Firefly FFLG, the that yellow and green, sort of SG. And I swapped the pickups out of that and ended up putting old Ibanez ceramic magnet pickups in it. But I had wondered, before I put those in, whether it would sound good with P90s in it. Because I have a Samick TR4 Torino guitar. I don't think I've ever shown it on the channel before. One of these days I will. It's actually in a rehearsal room where I play. But I put GFS P90 pickups on that guitar. I actually routed it for them because they were the full-size P90 pickup. And it was the best move I ever made. That guitar came to life. It was already a pretty nice guitar, and the pickups that were in it were pretty okay. But I wanted to try P90s, and it was an incredible move. So right now, well, up until recently, that guitar has been the only one that I have with P90 pickups in it. And I said, I love them so much, why don't I use them more often? Well, I picked up my Spalted Maple Firefly and said, I think I'm going to try it in that. But I don't want to have to route anything. I don't want to touch the wood. This guitar is beautiful. I don't want to touch the finish or the wood or the construction. So I went looking for PAF humbucker-sized P90 pickups. And I actually did a lot of web research, watched a lot of videos, and I was digging the sound I was hearing out of most of them. And I realized that when they are humbucker-sized, well, it's not that I realized, it's that I learned that when they are humbucker-sized P90s, they sort of tend to relabel them P94 or P94T. I guess I've seen them called that too. I don't know what the difference is between the two. But P94 is what I'll call the ones that I went with. And I looked for halfway decent reviews of less expensive P94 pickups. And I ended up on Amazon, and I looked at one set that I saw that was, you can get a set of those for $20, or you can get a set of those for $150. And I wanted to keep it closer to the $20 mark, but not $20. And I found something that probably ran me, if I'm not mistaken, I think it was something on the order of about $32 for a pair, a matched pair of P94 pickups, coming out of China. And they were by a company called Lamsam, 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 one word. In fact, I'll show you something funny. Whenever I swap pickups out of a guitar, I take the pickups that came out of the guitar and I put them back into the box of the pickups that I bought to replace them. So in other words, just swap them out and put the old ones in the box that the new ones came in. And I will label them pretty clearly because I've got a nice little collection going on right now of replaced pickups. And I tend to write on the box so I can see what exactly it is. So you'll have to forgive this, but this is funny. This is the box. Can you read that? Let me try and get that in focus. Firefly FF338 pickups, PAF style, that came out of the Spalted Maple. Okay? And they are excellent. They are a match set. They were the ones that came out originally. They are chrome colored. They're not the gold ones. And look at the logo behind my writing. Lamsam. Precious parts for string instruments. These are the ones that I went with. And I installed them. And luckily, well, I don't generally use coil tapping. So I try to look for 2-wire pickups because they're easier to install, easier to control. These replacement pickups are 2-wire pickups, and the ones that I took out of the Spalted Maple were 2-wire pickups. So the replacement was a snap. It was nothing. You just have to wrestle with working through the F hole on the guitar because there's no back panel, you know. But other than that, this is what they look like. Let me show you. I think they're very interesting. They are gold, where the other hardware was actually chrome, and you can see where the tailpiece, the chrome peeled off that and left that sort of copper-colored brass. I don't know what that material actually is, but I actually like that color, so I left it like that. And that is the original bridge that it came with. But aren't those pickups cool? I dig it with the black and the gold. And I was pleased. They went in easily. They installed easily. And they have pretty nice output. They're a little bit bright, but they are single coil. Remember now, I'm replacing humbucking pickups that came in the guitar with single coil pickups because I wanted that tighter sound. And to be perfectly honest, these single coils actually drive the distortion channel better than the humbuckers that came with the guitar. And they weren't bad. Like I said, with all Firefly pickups, I wish that they were a little bit hotter, maybe, so that the distortion on a natural tube amp like this monoprice back here will be more driven. It'll drive the tubes a little bit hotter. Those ones that came out didn't do so much. These do a little bit more. But they also have a particular sounding clean channel. So I'm just going to, without any more blabber, I'm just going to play a little bit for you so you can see what they sound like. Here is the neck position P94 pickup in my Spalted Maple, and you can see if you can see the EQ, I've got the bass kind of turned up a little bit. The bass is cranked a little bit. The middle is just south of noon, about 11 o'clock, and the treble's straight up, just nooned. Normally I would have these nooned out for a demonstration, but I don't know, I just like a little bit of extra bass with these. Plus, I mean, it is a 112 15-watt amp, and it is up on an elevated surface that actually has fur on it. This is my old bottom of my cat tree from when June was around. This was her tree. I took the top half down and decided to use the bottom half for a table because it was sitting there anyway. So that absorbs what's coming out of that speaker a little bit. And I got cloth laying around and just everything's carpeted, so you don't get a whole lot of bass response. If this was sitting on a bare surface and maybe down and pointed up at me, I'd hear the bass probably a little bit more. So I just cranked it a little bit here. But this is what I got for a sound. Now this is with everything turned all the way up, and this is the neck position pickup. it, I've got the master most of the way down, probably on 1. I've got the regular gain on about 2. And you can hear where they actually still are driving the tubes a little bit. You can hear that sort of bark. If I want to make it real clean, I'd have to drop that regular gain down around 1 and crank the master to get real clean. Let me show you what happens on this neck position pickup when I roll the tone off a little. These knobs, the tone knobs on this Spalted Maple Firefly are the original ones, and they feel logarithmic to me. Like, in other words, you don't get much response from 10 down to about 4 or 3. And then from that point down, that's when all the muting of the tone happens. This is 10. I'll roll it off. This is about halfway down. And this, with the tone off, or at 0. I'll come up a little bit from 0. That's about 1 right there. Most of your tone is back. Let me show you the middle position with everything turned on. Everything all the way up, I should say. Middle position, which is the blend between the 2 P94 pickups. It's a marvelous night for a moon, the stars up above your eyes. It's brighter. It's sort of mid-scooped, but you get a lot of high end. Blended position. Let me give you the bridge position with everything turned all the way up. In other words, the volume and the tones all the way up. I'm sure it's driving that microphone right now. That's what leads sound like clean with the bridge position, and chording is not bad. It is driving my mic red when I do that, I can see. So I probably got that mic sensitivity up a little bit too high for this, but good enough for demonstrational purposes. Huh? Turn the amp down? I hadn't even thought of it. I can. Yeah. There's an idea. Have to hit it a little bit harder to make the mic turn red now. As I described to you earlier, these pickups don't do a bad job driving the distortion on a one-channel amp like this. Let me show you. I'm going to leave that master volume down low, and I'm going to take the regular gain and crank it. Oh, listen to that noise. Glorious single coil noise. It wants to feed back even. Trying to keep the volume down low. That's the bridge position, full drive. I use that Hocus Pocus riff because it shows what chording does with distortion on the bridge position. So you can see that these pickups, remember I spent $32 on these from Amazon, and I couldn't be more pleased, I'll be perfectly honest with you. Let me show you distortion on the neck position, so you can get that sort of fat distortion sound. Again, pardon my playing, but they're very usable. Now, if you want to eliminate a little bit of that amp noise that you hear, because, I mean, they're single coils. They sound like single coils. Roll the tone off on it, and you can eliminate a lot of that noise. So with the tone down to about 2 on my neck position pickup with full distortion, I think that's pretty cool. I mean, think of what applications you could use that in. I do classic rock and crap like that, but you do whatever it is you do, and picture an application. You use it for rockabilly. I just think it sounds great. To get that sound, which I don't know how impressed you are with it or not, to get the sound I'm getting in this whole rig right here, this guitar was about, well, I think when I paid for it, I think it was about $160 at the time that I bought it. $160, pretty sure, if memory serves me, for the Spalted Maple Firefly, okay? I put $32 replacement pickups in it, okay? So now you're up to $200 roughly, right? And I spent maybe another $200 on this amp. So for $400, I've got a rig right here that with a microphone and with a decent sound, man, you could play almost anywhere with, depending on your application. Look, if you're into huge, giant death metal and thrash, of course, you know, you're going to want that big, you know, at least half-stack sound with the big, giant bass bottom or something that's, you know, 85 times rectified. But for applications like I use, classic rock, rockabilly, oldies, clean stuff as well, I don't think I could have done better for $400. By the time I get to Phoenix, she'll be rising. She'll find the note that I left on her door. She'll laugh when she reads the part that says I'm leaving. I've left that girl so many times before. You know what I mean? It's just nice. It's mellow. The difference between this and a $2,000 full rig is pretty minimal. To the layman's ear, what I've got right here mic'd up with me or somebody singing over it with nice, nice little PA system. Oh, here comes Benny. Benny's going to visit. He's on my desk. He's near my microphone. You can't see him, though. You're going to see him soon. Hi, Ben. Yep. Ben Squatch. I got to give him $25 for that appearance. Hi, Ben. Or at least one boiled shrimp. So that's the $32 Lamsam P94, or as they call it, humbucker-sized P90 replacement pickup, available on Amazon. And I think it was a fantastic investment. If you like really beautiful, sweet, clean tones and pretty cheesy, rock tones, in anything from a barky distortion to a full overdrive or rectified metal, whatever it is that you want to try it on, remember that they are single coil pickups, so they will make a little bit of, they'll pick up a little bit of 60 cycle hum, they'll pick up a little bit of interference noise, things like that, but it is controllable. And I think they're beautiful looking. I'll show them to you one more time. I think they make a beautiful accent on my guitar. And I couldn't be more pleased with having replaced the chrome-colored PAF pickups that came with the guitar, even though I wax-potted those and made them fantastic. These pickups will end up living in another one of my guitars. I'm not sure which one. Anything that I'd like to put a PAF humbucker in that has a beautiful clean tone, because these have almost unmatched clean tone. They're just phenomenal. I've got expensive pickups all over the house that don't sound any better than this, and most don't sound as good as these. So I will use them somewhere, but in the meantime, if you don't go on Guitar Fetish, which is the most inexpensive replacement part site that I'm aware of, that's the one that I use most often. If you don't go there and you go to Amazon, you will find a large assortment of different pickups. And if you watch other people's review sites talking about the various inexpensive P90 or P94 or P94T replacement pickups, you will see a lot of halfway decent ones. I took a chance on the first ones that I saw that were in the price range that I was curious about. Not necessarily the price range that I was looking for. If I had gone out looking for replacement P94s that were spectacular, I'd have expected to pay probably about $150 for a matched pair. But you know what? In the end, I didn't have to. So I'm very pleased with these. I hope you enjoyed this little demonstration. And if you try those pickups, leave me some comments and tell me what you think. So for today, this is PipeCat and Benny somewhere around here. Wishing you a great weekend. It is now Saturday, October the 30th, tomorrow being Halloween and all. So have fun, be safe, watch out for the kids. There's a lot of wackos out there. And yep, keep watching, and I will talk to you all soon. Thank you.